everyone. Welcome back to What's Happening in Real Estate this week. I got Conrad Zuni, broker, owner, REMAX, Escarpment, REMAX, Niagara, and Brian Hogben, Mission 35 Mortgages. And follow us and check us out all the time. We're on this show every week. We've been doing this for 3.5 years now. That's crazy.
But before we start, Rob, I'm in Vegas, and I just want to tell everyone I'm in Vegas by the pool.
Nice.
And the reason I'm here is because REMAX has their international awards, and congratulations to the Golfi team, #1 in Canada again, which is something that is very difficult to do. Like I always say, it's hard to keep that #1 status. And the other piece is #3 in global. And when you think of REMAX, it is the global company to be #3 in out of 145,000 agents, Rob.
No kidding.
That is amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thanks to your help quite a bit, Conrad, because you've always supported me, buddy, and I appreciate that.
Well, it's a great partnership.
Yeah,
amazing.
No, it is. It is. I appreciate that. So you know what the other good thing is? I want to talk. I don't have my pin on. I got a pin. I got to tell you, this is for every real estate agent out there, every real estate agent. I just want to say, like, I have a pin that says, it's got the balloon with the Golfi logo on there.
Yeah.
Combined. Yeah. Everybody recognizes the balloon. Everybody recognizes the Golfi logo because I marketed quite a bit. But if you just have the brand of REMAX, wear the pin. People ask, are you a real estate agent? My brother's selling his house. I'm telling you, it's so easy. That pin's what, $4, $5? Buy 10 of them, put them on every jacket, whatever you have, walk around. I promise you will get a listing within 30 days if you're wearing it every day. Guaranteed.
You're so right.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, you're so right.
And people don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
now,
we do the same thing with the mortgage stuff. Like, everybody wants to talk about their interest rate right now. If you say something that says mortgages, going to the gym, that's why we give everybody on the team workout shirts all the time.
Everybody recognizes.
Talk about mortgages.
Absolutely.
And they want to see you're out and about, right? You're out and about in the community, and that means you're doing something, not having another part-time job, right?
For sure. But everybody recognizes the balloon. You don't even have to put REMAX. They recognize the balloon.
Yeah,
But now, if you're with a company that doesn't have a big recognized brand, then you got to put realtor on there. And hopefully,
totally,
you know what I'm saying. But
and hope for the best.
That's it.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, that's it. So REMAX has the most exposure out there. But anyway, if you're not with REMAX, it's okay. I get it.
Yeah.
You somebody convinced you to go the other way, but we'll forgive you. We'll forgive you.
But you can still watch. You can still watch us.
Still watch. But we're a realtor. We're a realtor. But anyway, listen. So what's happening? So I haven't checked my mail yet. I did see something from the city of Hamilton. So now they're implementing the residential property owners are required to declare the occupancy status of their properties for the 2024 tax year by Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. Failure to submit the declaration by deadline would result in the residential unit being deemed vacant. So they're going to tax you. Like, is this bullshit or what? Like, come on. Like I'll tell you, I had a property, and this is where it stems from. Now, I'm getting a little deep here. Okay, I had a property, and this wasn't a 2024 year, it was 2023, just in case they're checking me out. So I kept it empty. You know why? I didn't want to rent it because I wasn't sure if I was going to rent it or sell it. So why put a renter in there when I'm going to get shafted by a tenant that if I did decide to rent it, and then he wouldn't move out and I have to give him keys for doors and stuff like that. So you know what? Listen, City of Hamilton, why don't you fix the landlord tenant board situation? And then maybe you won't have as many vacant units, because sometimes it's cheaper to keep the unit vacant than putting a tenant in there and screwing the landlord over. I don't know.
And
maybe
that's what we told them.
Am I going
no,
offline
you're right.
here? Am I going offline?
You're right. And that's what we told them. Like there are people, ma and pa investors, hardworking people, put some money away, bought a house as their retirement, right? And they don't want to get bogged down into the landlord-tenant act and stuff like that. And it's really stressful. So a lot of them say, look, I just have it empty. It's there. Maybe my kid will move into it one day. I don't know, but it's an asset, and I maintain it. and everything. And that's just my choice and my decision. Like, I don't know. But I'll tell you, I've spoken to people that have this kind of philosophy. There's a lot of agents that even do this too. Like you're saying, Rob, they keep them empty. You know, they're looking at it, well, it's cost doing business. You know what I mean? Like, it's another expense that I'll write off against my capital gains. In the story.
This was a good thing, but did we not talk about this like almost 2 years ago? It was a really big thing, right? And I think it was a great time 2-3 years ago when we had the rental market was inflating and all the prices were inflating. Now we get this, and like, I have a hard time giving away a rental property sometimes right now because there's a lot of supply in the market. So to have something vacant for 6 months now, you know what? You might be in the market where it is vacant for a little bit of time because there's a lot more supply that's on the market. I think this is like you're trying to, terrible timing. Like if they could act quicker, it would have been better.
Well, Brian, you said a mouthful because it's always this time delay. I always find Hamilton, especially, like, you know, if there's a great economic 7 years of economic like boom, we jump in at the third year, and then by the time. And then it ends, right? We're always Johnny come lately, and we're always too short. We always run out of runway in Hamilton. This is a classic example of it.
I got a fun fact I want to share with you guys on the Landlord Tenant Act right now, and I'm curious if you guys know the answer to this. I had a tenant give notice on a rental property. 2 weeks notice they gave me. She said, I'm out. 2 weeks notice, not 60 days, 2 weeks, right? Luckily, I got it re-rented. Now you're supposed to give 60 days notice, right?
Yeah.
I got it re-rented, so as soon as she moved out, we were able to put a new person back in. Do you think that, and she was not within the 12-month committed period, this was after 7 months, 2 weeks notice, see you later. Do you think the last month's rent is refundable or not refundable?
Oh, she probably got the refundable last month's rent.
It is 100% refundable. Even if they breach the contract, even if, and I went through my paralegal on this, it is 100% refundable, even if they breach the contract, so long as the landlord re-rents it. Doesn't matter that I had realtor costs in order to re-rent it out, do all that stuff. They are able to, so if you re-rent it out, you have to refund the money.
So question. So let's say you didn't re-rent it for within the 60 days. Would you be able to keep that?
Yes. They have to give 60 days notice, but if the landlord re-rents it out, then they're not entitled to give the 60 days. Well, they still
you mitigated damages. You've mitigated your damages, right? So that's it,
mitigated,
right?
but you still, like, as from the landlord,
you still cost.
You can't win. You can't win. No. You can't win.
Vegas is looking better, Conrad. Vegas real estate is looking good.
I think so. Well, you know what?
Put it on 16.
That's it. But you know what? That's what's causing everybody to move out of, like, everybody's moving around the world right now. People are leaving Canada. They're moving also
the US,
everywhere. Everywhere. It's because they especially Canada, it's tough. We're losing good people with money, and we're getting garbage coming back in. So this country in 20 years from now, they're going to say, what happened? Well, we know what happened. But anyway, so this rental thing, how long do you think you think they're going to, like, how can they track this? How do they know if it's a rental or not? Like, they don't.
It's just gonna be neighbors gonna be telling on people. That's all now, really. At the end of the day, there's no other way unless, I don't think they've hired. I remember the last time they were gonna hire people to kind of, it's so difficult, and unless they've got hydro, it'd be very difficult for them to find out. Right?
Have you actually filled this out yet, Rob? Have you actually gone online? Because I'm pretty sure you just go online and say no.
I haven't even seen it, or I do have mail here today that I got to take a look at. That's been here this week. I got to find out if that's part of it. But the one thing, here's a scenario. Tell me this: I have a house. It's going to be torn down. It's boarded up, empty. I'm waiting from the city to get a permit to demolition and then to get a permit to build. But the city, you know how slow they are. Am I fault for that because it's empty? Like,
as long as you can prove, right? Like you don't
want to rent it out. You don't want to rent it out because then you have to kick the tenant out, right?
It
so
says
you keep it empty.
In the clause that major renovations are allowed for
that
a
are permitted.
vacancy. I wonder if that would fall under that. Hopefully that would.
But they got to be permitted. They got to be permitted. Permitted renovation.
So you applied for a permit, tear down or whatever. You know how sometimes it takes forever to get permits in the, especially in Burlington. And then,
well, it's so funny that they're taxing vacant back in the day when commercial was really bad, right? Like commercial tenancies, they were giving tax breaks for vacant units, right? If you had a vacant unit, you got a tax break. They totally got rid of that. So it's so funny. Like when the businesses needed it, they responded, but then we're going to lose too much money. And then now they're adding another tax. Like it's outrageous. Outrageous.
I don't know how long. So this is coming to Niagara if it's not there already. This is coming.
Oh yeah. It's going to go throughout the whole province. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's slowly just spilling out like a disease that's just crawling everywhere. So that's it. That's like, it's not going away. Not going away. Just like they tried to implement the, double land transfer tax. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like that's a stupidity.
That's a stupidity. So
just one fun fact. Governor of Florida announcing yesterday, they're going to work towards no property taxes.
Oh, wow. Perfect.
Can
they afford to do that? Can they afford to do that?
I tell you, because you know what they're saying? He's saying the cities are wasteful and they just keep, putting it on the shoulders of consumers and homeowners. And he's working towards eliminating it.
And you know what? In Florida, they come and pick up your garbage twice a week. Like it's not even once a week; it's twice a week they come and pick up. And then they're gonna it is the Sunshine State. Wow, that is unbelievable.
Can you imagine that happening twice a week here? Oh my God!
When I was in Chicago, Illinois, the guy would pick it up out of my garage because he said, He said, how do you want it picked up? And I go, I don't know, at the front. He goes, no, you don't want unsightly garbage on your lawn. He goes, I'll pick it up out of your garage.
These Americans, they know how to do it, eh?
Yeah,
they do it right. Eh? They want to keep the country looking clean and everything. Yeah. That's it. In Florida, twice a week. They got to keep them employed. That is crazy. That's crazy. So there's going to be a lot of backlash on this. It's going to come up next month. We're going to, it was April. We'll see it. You're going to see a lot of complaints. A lot of people, I think it's wrong. They're taxing the non-residents 1% now. Like I think in Crystal Beach, there's a lot of Americans that have these small cottages in Crystal Beach. You know what? Like they're just cheap cottages. They just cross the border on the weekends or whatever, but they're
spending money here. They're helping the economy, and
like they're driving people away from Canada. They really are. But
it'd be great if they focused on efficiency instead of growing revenue.
Yeah.
Right. Like just we saw the tiny homes article as well too. Like that wasn't amazing. Right. But it's like, if you could focus a little bit more on how to spend the money instead of how to collect more, be a different mindset, I think.
Can you imagine if we really had a business person that had full control of a city and actually change it? Like the reason why
his name is Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Yeah. No kidding. Well,
the whole country.
Look what happened to Toronto. They were so deep in debt that they had to double the land transfer tax. How many years ago was that, Conrad? Do you remember how many years ago?
It's going about 10 years. Yeah.
10 years. And it's because they were so deep in debt. They're never going to get rid of the double land transfer tax.
And their tax increase was something like almost 7 or 8% this year.
Like how?
So it was to bring down taxes.
Jeez. They'll stay in debt forever. That city. They'll stay in debt forever. They're in big trouble. So quick thing about
the numbers.
Numbers, February. Now it's kind of screwy because you got to look on the Treb site versus the Matrix site with Hamilton. Now it's way down from February of last year versus February this year so far. Am I correct?
Yeah. No, so you're absolutely We're about 8 or 9% so far with 2 more days to go. Yeah. As a company, but the boards are down dramatic.
The boards are down. Some of them 40% in
for sure.
40% in unit sales, but the prices are holding. We're flatlining right now. Opportunity is great right now.
Oh yeah,
looking at buying properties. You got the time. We're going through exactly what happened in the 90s. And then eventually, we don't know when it's going to hit, but it's not going to take 9 years. We've already been 2 years into it. We're going in our 3rd year. of the market being a little bit, no, is it second year of the market being flat?
Yeah,
I think,
second.
yeah.
Third.
So where you're going to find all of a sudden one day you're going to wake up. And I got in the market. I got in when the market started climbing after the 90s. That's when I became a realtor. Like, yeah. And like 1999.
Well, it'd be a smart, look, I will say this, you know what it is too? It's a reflection of the inventory. Like we have so much 60 and 90-day inventory.
Oh my God.
And I would say that buyers just discount it completely, like it doesn't even exist. You start to take out that inventory out, it's a smaller supply.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing, prices kind of maybe start to inch up slightly. Across the country, they were up 0.7% last year to this year. But you might see that little, 1%, a little bit up because, and I think sellers got to be held accountable. They got to understand that you just can't go and fish anymore like that. It just doesn't happen. You're not going to get sold.
The consumer's smart. Yeah. They know. They're the ones with the money. They're looking at other properties. They know the market better than the realtors. They know the market better than even the homeowner that's selling the house. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, listen, I appreciate it. And you want to listen to more, just follow us, and you'll hear more of what's happening in real estate this week with Conrad Zuni and Brian Hogben and myself, Rob Golfi. We'll see you next time.